You can easily measure that. And then that's the functional application of MRI. This is what I was trying to tell you. You can study the biodistribution. If you have an agent, and now just imagine to that agent you have F18 for example, उसमें tagged है, it is being distributed. You through imaging you can see whether it went to liver or it went to intestine, it went to any other part of the body. वो imaging से आपको बता देगा. So you don't have to worry about. So imaging, as you can see, is extremely non-invasive. आपने कोई सुई नहीं चोबनी उसमें. You can just simply take the picture and it can tell you that target interaction, whether your target for which that dose that you are giving, whether the dose is reaching to the target or not, you can by imaging you can see कि उसका असर हुआ कि नहीं हुआ. Right now, at my institute, in actually one of my colleagues, she is an expert, she's a chemist, but she started focusing on neuroimaging. So she designs, she makes chemicals which are fluorescent, specific those molecules that they have the properties that they can be fluorescent. One of the challenges in the body is to cross the blood-brain barrier. ब्रेन के अंदर कैसे करना. जब सर्जरी कॉम्प्लिकेटेड सर्जरी होती है तो सर्जन हैज दैट्स व्हाई यू well I don't know how it is here and I'm assuming that too, you take second opinion, third opinion, fourth opinion before you decide on which surgeon to do that. The reason for that is the person has to be very experienced. These are very delicate nerves जब करते हैं ऑपरेशन सर्जरी करते हैं, और doctor is basically opening and the best of knowledge and skill that person has is trying to do that. Now just imagine if there was a chemical, harmless chemicals but it is fluorescent, जिसकी imaging कर सकते हैं, वो chemical दिया गया हो. अब clear cut black and white picture, डॉक्टर की इतनी बड़ी स्क्रीन है, वॉल साइज की स्क्रीन है, और पेशेंट के सामने वो exactly देख सकता है because that chemical is clearly guiding कि नर्व के अंदर जा रहा है कि नहीं जा रहा, और कौन सी नर्व को काटना, गलती से किसी दूसरी नर्व को ना काट दे. पहले ये सब नहीं होता था. They had to take their best of their skill set, imagination, whatever was available at the time. And now these chemicals are extremely helpful in surgery for surgeons. So you inject those images, उसकी imaging आ जाती है, you take the imaging, literally, I'm sure यहाँ पे भी होगा, in surgery room, वो छोटी छोटी मॉनिटर नहीं, they are large screen जो एकदम जहाँ पे जो सर्जन काम कर रहा है उसके सामने होती है. It's now up to, I mean, our institute has, I don't know how it is here at PGI or AIMS or other places, robotic surgery. And why robotic surgery is helpful? Because of the imaging. It has opened up in field because imaging, you can see on the image what doctor has to do, what surgeon has to do. So just imagine imaging how much it has changed compared to just imagine कि वो है ही नहीं, where it was to where it is now. So imaging, not just for the treatment, for the therapeutic purposes, it helps to understand in many, many ways at the molecular level, at the organ level. Again, as I was saying, pharmacodynamics, what drug did to your body. If it's a tumor size, if you give tumor, what happens is inside the tumor, the proteins have specific, inside the tumor, environment is different. TME, tumor microenvironment, is different than the normal cells. In there, the glucose levels, the oxygen levels are different. You know the term hypoxia, lack of oxygen, right? In there, if you have chemicals that light up in that environment, you can easily see कि उसका size क्या है, whatever that be. Not necessarily cancer, but if there is a nerve ruptured, you can see where the rupturing happened. So biodistribution, and same way pharmacodynamics, if you treat with something, you take the size before, you look at the picture before, and during the treatment process you can keep on taking, and you can tell you whether effect उसका हो रहा है या नहीं हो रहा है तो कितना हो रहा है. and at what point, what should be the next step, what should be the next thing that should be done for the patient. So I'll skip this. This is basically the various stages of development where how imaging can be used. Same thing, as you see, this is now brain. FDG is commonly used PET scanning because it can penetrate and it can tell you. Now, for example, in our center, my radiochemists are designing various chemicals for GBM, for researchers, for physicians, or for scientists who are interested in GBM, glioblastoma, brain tumor, to study those radionuclide tagged chemicals which can help them to see. But now as a chemist thing, it's not just inside the body will light up karega. You have to have a chemical that actually also crosses the blood-brain barrier, right? So it gives you a lot of creativity to a chemist to design a molecule which has the property to be effective but also be able to cross the blood-brain barrier so that physicians, surgeons, scientists can actually see what is actually happening. So it is FDG, PET, commonly used in neurodegenerative diseases. Now, imaging is also used as a surrogate marker. When you can mark something that you're interested in by putting an imaging agent, you can use that to see kahan आपका drug जाएगा. So it's a surrogate marker for that. And you can just follow the image, body के अंदर किस organ के अंदर कहाँ जा रहा है, कितना जा रहा है, क्यों जा रहा है, जा पा रहा है, नहीं पा रहा, without actually having to do the treatment. This is just a surrogate marker. So many applications, this is just being one of those. So this is a complicated, but you will have the copy of this, not to worry. But point being, as you can see here, from target expression from early biology to compound screening, which is the drug discovery, drug development part. This is whole drug development part, assessment of pharmacokinetics, again up to that. हर stage के ऊपर various imagings are used. Imaging tells you whether to go forward or not. Go, no go decision you can make. It's just a modality, but it's an extremely powerful modality. And then, of course, in the clinical, as I mentioned, because you can image the patient and you know whether it's working or not working. Okay. I actually have made multiple topics for today. So I am perfectly fine if we take a shorter break and come back and I can go over biological therapeutics, RNA therapy, cell therapy, gene therapy, immune therapy. So whatever length of break you want, 10, 15 minutes, I'm okay. Right? Question, do you want me to continue or you want to take a break? You can take 10 minutes break, so I'll pull up my other slide and then you can, and I'm sorry, आप इस समय चाय पीते होते हो, आपकी चाय आ गई है? I didn't know that, you can check that. So, brain के blood flow जो है, कुदरत ने ऐसे बनाया कि हर चीज़ नहीं जाती. There is actually a layer that doesn't cross this there. So, you know what the brain, do you know makeup of human anatomy, brain कैसे है? Brain जो है, actually जो brain है is sitting in the fluid. जो concussion आपको पता है ना, जो फुटबॉल में अभी ये पता नहीं ये कुछ बंद कर दिया है कि header जो है उसको बंद कर दिया. There was actually a movie. Concussion is the name of the movie. क्योंकि ये तो बिल्कुल ठीक है, आपने रग्बी वालों को देखा है, रग्बी खेलते हुए आपने देखा है, they wear no guard. ये बंद है ना, ठीक है, फिर मेरे को जोक्स आए तो फिर वो रिकॉर्ड ना हो जाए. आपने रग्बी वालों को देखा है, they wear no gear, खुलेआम उनके कान देखें, रग्बी वालों के कान नोट करना, ऐसे पिसे हुए होते हैं. रेस्ट ऑफ द बॉडी तो बलून्ड होती है, मसल्स होते हैं, बट उनके कान जो हैं दे हेड बट करते हैं बहुत, और उनको जो ब्रेन इंजरीज बहुत होती है. सेम वे अमेरिकन फुटबॉल जो है, नॉट द सॉकर, द अमेरिकन फुटबॉल, जो दे वेयर हेलमेट एंड ऑल दैट, दे वेयर द गियर, बट उसका जो इट्स एक है ऑफेंस साइड होती है, एक है डिफेंस। डिफेंस वाले जो होते हैं उनका काम होता है ऑफेंस वालों को रोकना। 200 kg, 250 पाउंड, 300 पाउंड्स, और वो हेडबट बहुत करते हैं। तो मैं क्यों इस स्टोरी यहाँ से शुरू कर रहा हूँ, वेलकम टू ब्रेन का, कि ब्रेन जो है इज एक्चुअली कनेक्टेड, इज सिटिंग इनसाइड, जो आपका जो स्कल है उसके अंदर फ्लूइड है। फ्लूइड में ब्रेन ऐसे तैर रहा होता है। तैर रहा इन द सेंस इज नॉट फिक्स्ड, इट इज मोबाइल, इट इज मूविंग। जब हेडबट करते हैं होता है ना, एकदम से चक्कर आ गया, क्योंकि वो अपना फ्लूइड जो है के अंदर वो थोड़ा सा हिल गया। तो कुदरत ने बनाया इस तरह से कि हर चीज उसमें नहीं जा सकती। देयर आर लेयर्स so that not everything crosses through. So that barrier is called blood-brain barrier. उसके अंदर क्रॉस करने के लिए, now if something imaging has to be done for the brain part, if a drug has to be developed the brain part, that whatever that drug is has to cross through the barrier, in order to get into the brain. That is called blood-brain barrier. हम मूवीज तो देखते हैं, बॉलीवुड इज गुड, पंजाबी वुड इज गुड, बट व्हाट दोज काइंड ऑफ मूवी, कंकशन, वो पूरी उसने बदल के रूल्स बदल के रख दिए, बट हाउ मच money influence and how much they, okay, but that's entirely based on how concussion happens in the brain. So when you make that, not every chemical crosses through, so you have to design drugs which can pass through this blood brain. So uska jo hai log p value, again as a chemist, lipophilicity, log p value उसकी adjust करते हैं कि क्या उसकी log p value होनी चाहिए, so it crosses through. That's one of the property. Then again, as I showed you, you are juggling many balls and you're keeping all those in the air. So that's one of those balls that you have to keep track of. I'm perfectly fine. जब तक आपकी चाय आती है, I can start my next topic. आ गई है? 2 minutes, okay. So far as I'm concerned, I'm perfectly fine. When I'm giving talk, you're eating. Seriously. From where I come from, legally we don't stop them. It's up to you. You can take your coffee, यहाँ बैठ जाइए, मैं I'll continue. शायद ग्लूकोज अंदर जाएगा तो असर भी जल्दी होगा, ज़्यादा होगा. I'm just kidding. Just whatever you like, I'm fine. You can take your coffee or samosa and I will continue my lecture.